Could you recite the Ten Commandments? Here's a simple way you might be able to remember them. Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Thought I'd get a little bit of religious here. I know some people don't believe in it, some are atheists, but nevertheless, we live in a Judeo-Christian society, and it is some of the basis of some of our moral ethics, regardless of whether we believe in a God or not. So I thought I'd take a look at this. Kind of an interesting poll here. 80% of Americans consider themselves Christians. I think that's down a little bit. 50% knew who preached the Sermon on the Mount. Only 50%. Less than 50% could even recall 5 of the 10 Commandments. 20% said they would be willing to suffer for their faith. Only 20%. Interesting. Here's some other polling here. A study conducted reveals that more than 90% of Americans believe in the 10 Commandments. 90%. Doesn't necessarily believe in God or the Bible, but they believe it's a good principle. And yet, can they recite them? That's the question. Here's a survey of 1,200 people aged 15 to 35 found that most those polled could not name more than 2 of the 10 Commandments. Well, anyway, here's kind of a quick video of some people that was taken a few years back about people who are trying to remember the 10 Commandments. Let's see how well they do.
I knew these at one point.
You commit adultery.
What else we got? We're missing 4. I don't know.
What else? Thou shalt not kill. Oh. Thou shalt not commit adultery. What's that?
Keep holy the Sabbath day. Don't swear. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Don't swear is not a one. Don't lie. Don't murder.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. This is intimidating. That's the problem here. I know these.
Father and mother. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't murder. You should not covet your neighbor's wife or commit adultery. Sorry.
How many is that? 2? Thou shalt not honor false gods.
Steal, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt make holy the Lord's day. Which ones did I miss? I'm sure I missed a couple. How many did I say? 7, 8?
Well, they didn't do that well, but on the other hand, let's be fair, they did have there's some basic ethics and morals that have been embedded into many of the Christian belief systems, so at least they're not going to kill or steal most of them. At least they'll pick on those 2 commandments in any case. Here they are here. They're found obviously in Exodus. So what would be a good way to remember those in case you ever get caught on the camera there on a YouTube moment? I kind of look at it from a pyramidal perspective. Some people will look at it, it goes from the top down, meaning from having only one God, all the way down to the bottom, which is coveting other people's property. So you can kind of see there's a hierarchy going from the top to the bottom. And of course, it's divided basically in 3 basic sections in the top down. The 4 deal with toward God. The 5th one is social organization. This is honoring your father and mother. And notice the order there, father and mother, kind of indicating a patriarchal situation, which some people don't agree with. And then the 4th one there is the remember the Sabbath. It's kind of a test commandment. So the first 4 deal with God. Only one God. And idol worship doesn't necessarily mean having little graven images, but anything could become an idol, even your shiny red car. God's name in vain, it's not just swearing, but it also can mean not misrepresenting God, meaning saying that you believe in God, but in reality you ignore Him. In any case, and of course the 5th is the social organization, as the traditional family is at the core of social order. What do they say? Strong families create strong communities create strong nations, and I'm not sure we're doing very well on that. But then the bottom 6 is where people get kind of tongue-tied, and yet they still kind of believe them. And this kill, adultery, stealing, lying, and covet. So we kind of look at this and kind of flip it on its side there, flip the pyramid upside down. The reality is that they're actually in pretty good order. It's the progression of sin in reverse order. And what I mean by that, if you're going to sin, the first thing you do is you covet something, jealous, greed, whatever it be. You're looking at something and you want it. So that sin it's more of a mental sin in the mind. And you want it, whatever that may be, whether it's a wife, a woman, a car, material, money, whatever. And so what do you do? What's the first thing you do? Well, you go to number 9, commandment number 9, which is you lie about it, try to get it, try to finagle your way in getting through lying. And then what do you do after lying doesn't work? Well, let's just steal it. So number 8 is stealing. And what happens after stealing doesn't work? Well, you kind of have to divorce yourself. Now, adultery is more. A lot of people think it focuses purely on just cheating on your wife or your significant other, but also if you expand that, adultery means you divorce her, you break your contract with the 10 commandments. So it's more than just a sexual sin, it also can be a departure from the covenant with God. Because you have to do that, because once you do that, you can do the final there, which is number 6, and that is to murder, to kill. And of course that's the progression of sin. It starts with an idea in your mind and ends up literally to death. That's why they say the wages of sin is death. And that's where it eventually goes. Some people get off the train somewhere in the middle there, but nevertheless it is. Anyway, I thought that would be an interesting way to look at the 10 Commandments, help you remember them, regardless of whether you believe in them or not. It still may be useful from a Judeo-Christian ethics principle alone. We asked AI, is it important to America? It's kind of a weak sauce answer from the AI. Take our online poll. And how important is the Judeo-Christian ethics in America today? Is it important at all or not? In any case, don't forget to subscribe.